Hi, this is Everett's Watercolors. Welcome to my classroom. Now today I'm going to do another stamping project with a Gina K Mayflower stamp set. And I'm going to paint it in purple with the Holbein color pencil sets. And boy, they really blend nicely. I love the way they work, and they're so smooth and they blend so gradually. So I can't wait to show you how I started it and finished it, and I'll turn it into a greeting card at the end. So let's go to my painting table and let's get started. Okay, this is my setup. I'm using the Holbein colored pencils. This is my 24 set. I have it broken down into different sections. And here I'm using my basic set. I'll start out with a violet. That's open stock 441 is the code number, which is on my website. And the first layer, I'm putting down a very light pressure. And a light pressure is just to get the color down there to cover the surface. This is cardstock, and it was stamped with a black onyx ink to give me the outline. And what is, by using light pressure, what I want to do, I'm getting familiar with the shapes of the flowers or the petals. I'm getting to know the location, the size, the shape, and just how I'm going to cover them. So this light value is just to get started. It's a good way to get familiar with an object, not starting out too dark, starting out with a light color. It's almost like doing a watercolor painting where you start out with the light colors and you add the darker colors later. So I'll be doing some layering with this card. I'll start out with this light layer first to get the base coat, which is just to give me an undercolor with a light violet, light purple color. Now here's a close-up of that light background layer. Now with the same pencil, I'm using the violet pencil, the open stock 441, and what I'm doing, I'm using a little more pressure, and what I call it a medium pressure, just slightly harder, but now I call it a medium pressure for this second layer. Now here I'm shaping the flower petals, and I'm starting at the center, and I'm moving out toward the end of the flower petal. But I'm building up the color, this second layer, just to give a little more definition of the petal. And also, again, just adding a little more color to that area. Not getting too dark yet, but move from the center and blending with the first layer to give it a gradual blending of color from the middle of the flower to the outside edge. You can see here the color blends very nicely. It's a nice soft, it's a soft lead, not a real soft lead, but it's a nice controllable lead. I've had no breakage from these pencils at all, so I could use as much pressure as I want here, but here I want to just build up the color gradually, and I don't want to get too dark at this point, but I just want to build the shape of the flower, shape of the petal. And I'm leaving a little bit of light areas too. I'm not getting everything completely the same value. So I'm leaving a little variety in the petals also. A little light and dark, maybe a light and medium value as far as the color is concerned. But this violet color is a nice, beautiful color to work with. And it's the blending is very easy, is very comfortable. Just a little more pressure than the first layer, and then building up the color. You'll notice I'm leaving the outside edge just the way I'll use the first layer. I want that outside edge to be lighter. And there's the second layer of the shaping the petals. Now one more layer I'm going to do here with the same pencil, the violet, the open stock 441. Now I'm using heavy pressure. Now what I'm going to do here on the third layer is I'm building I'm really adding more and more dimension and more color to the center of the flower. The center of the flower is a lot darker, so I'm losing a little more pressure, also blending out with the rest of the petal from the center out. But by adding more pressure to the pencil, I'm getting a darker color. Now, adding this color from the center out gives the flower a little more definition. It adds to the interest of the object, and it helps define the petal itself. I'm going from light to dark from the center out. So these three layers, the light layer in the beginning and then the second layer to shape the flower petal, and now I'm shaping the center of the flowers and also adding a little more definition to the flower petals on the edges, especially between the flower petals, between the flowers themselves, but emphasizing the dark color in the center of the flower. And that violet comes out to be a very beautiful color here when you put that third layer on. Now here's a close-up of the third layer with the darkened centers. You can see I left the outside edges a lot lighter to give it a lot more definition. And now I'm going to add black now with Open Stock 510. The black now is going to be for the very dark center. This flower has accents, and the accents will be in black. And I'm following the design of the flower stamp, which gives me some indications of where the dark areas are. So I'm just re-emphasizing that with a black pencil. Give me a nice dark center to give the flower definition and a lot more depth. And there's the fourth color with the added accents. Now holly green is a very nice color to start with. Holly green to start with the leaves. It's an open stock pencil also in the basic set. The first layer, I got two layers I'm going to use on the leaves. The first layer is with the holly green, just to get started. I like to work in layers. I like to start with two colors or more. I'm going to the forest green, which is open stock 267. This is out of the 24 set, and that'll give me a second layer on the leaves. So I have two layers of green that I'm adding to the leaves. And again, this will add a little dimension. It'll add a little bit of more contrast, add a little more color. So by layering these two colors together, I get a nice mixture of a medium to dark green color, which I like with this particular combination. I think this green color also goes very well with the violet color. So when I mix colors, I like to get a palette that works together, the colors that work together. The purples and the greens and the blues work together very nicely. And here I'm adding the green along. Now there's the layering, first layering of the leaves. Now I continued on by adding more and more color to the leaves. You can see here I'm blending the colors of the leaves, almost done with all the leaves all the way around. Now I'm going back and adding in another layer of dark green on top of what I started with. So right now I'm really building up the colors again by layering more color on top. So by adding another color on top by layering, I'm making the colors a lot darker. And start out gradually. When you're doing pencils or even in watercolor painting especially, you start out with a light layer and then you can build the layer up with a darker layer on top. So essentially I'm using the same techniques I use in watercolors by adding a light layer and adding a dark layer on top. And this dark layer really makes the flower stand out. It also matches the color combination of the purple, keeping those values fairly equal. Of course, a different color, but the values are basically the same values as what I'm looking at. Now that's the completed finished color for the pencils. And I'm calling this card the Purple Flowers. Now I want to turn this into a greeting card. And my wife Gloria prepared me a card base, A2 size, in a beautiful purple color. It'll match the colors of the flowers. I think that's I really like that. It's nice. Also, she cut out a border size out of the cardstock to give me an 1/8 inch border to go on top of that. And now using the master layout cutout number 1, decide the final format here. And Gloria also cut out a banner with some words, "Know You're Loved." And I did a similar one the last time I had a card. I did a card. I did use the same stamp set, Mayflower stamp set from Gina K. And I painted this on the heavyweight cardstock, but I used watercolors here on this yellow one. Now the link to this video of the yellow card is in the description below. So I'm going to decide whether I can also maybe change the layout here and turn it around and maybe do a vertical format. So I haven't quite decided yet to finish which way I'll go on this, either vertical or horizontal. But Gloria will help me cut this out on her die cut machine, and then we'll put the card together, and I'll bring it back and show you the results. Hi, this is Everett's Watercolors. Welcome to my classroom again. And I'm back to show you the results of the purple flowers using the Holbein color pencil set. And you can see off to the left there, my wife Gloria and I assembled it together. And we put the background along with the sentiment, "Know You Are Loved," and I thought it turned out to be very nice. Those color pencils really work great. I just love the blending. I love the way they go together and come out with a nice product. So I'd like to get some comments on what you think, and let me know how you like the video. I've got a couple other videos coming down the road, so I'm looking forward to showing them to you also. So until then, stay safe. Materials used in this video were Holbein Color Pencil 24 set and Gina K Designs products shown here on the slide. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, press the bell to be notified of my next video. Give me some comments about the video and also some questions, and I'll get back to you. I'll see you on the next video.